Hey, Saboteur here. I'm going to guide you through Hugo's quest line, how to get him out of jail, and how to get him a job. There's a couple of jobs you can give him. The first option I'm going to guide you through now. So when you pass checkpoint Rest Town, past those big huge gates, there's NPC on the other side here. It tells you about the coral snakes, and that's going to kick off the quest, Mercy Among Thieves. So if you're going to do Isaac's shop job offer, make sure you've done this quest first, Told to Rest, where you need to guide Oscar through the ancient battleground up to that castle. So, for the Mercy Among Thieves, follow the main road here, it's unmissable. You'll get to a cutscene here where you see Hugo running off. You're basically going to be chasing him through some caves, and that's where he gets betrayed by his leader Lenzo. And of course, that's how he ends up in the jail in Bakbatal. Speaking to Hugo in jail unlocks off the Pilfered Path quest. Now we're going to make our way to Bakbatal, where Hugo is being held in a cell. So if you did sneak into the Batal region, you're going to need a residence permit, which you'll get from Manila here. As soon as you enter the town, there'll be a cutscene, so it's pretty much unmissable as well if you're following the main road. And she's going to guide you to that inn there and give you that residence permit. And I'll just quickly show you as well, if you just follow this road here from that little inn, there's an NPC that'll call you over to sell a house for 30,000 gold at this point of the game. Hopefully you do have it, so you can purchase the house to pass time and make a save point there and save money from inns. Alright, we're going to kick off a new quest now, which is going to be one of the options to provide Hugo at the end for a job. So Isaac's wares. As soon as you buy something from Isaac, you'll see he talks about his eyes being bad, and he's going to ask you to seek out a ripened quince. So I'll show you where you can find the quince on the map here. But when you do get a quince, you basically just want to sit at a bench for about 3 days and it'll turn to a ripened quince. So this is the location for where you can get a quince. It's out in the wild, but there's one that always spawns here. Alright, so return to Isaac with the ripened quince. And basically he's gonna ask you to seek out a grimoire, a special book. So what you want to do is head back the next day after you've given him the quince, and now he's going to ask you to seek out this book. Now, to get this book, you need to head back to Checkpoint Rest Town, and you can actually buy it off Ibrahim, a guy who does all the forgeries and copies. Now, this is where you may want to make a copy of that grimoire as well when you buy it from him, because there's two outcomes. Now, if you give Isaac the fake grimoire and he does the reading, nothing happens and he goes back to his shop, but then you can't give Hugo the job. I'm going to show you the path if you give him the real one, and what's going to happen there is you give him the book and he's going to ask you to follow him to his house, which is just around the corner up some stairs, and he's going to do a reading. And this is pretty much the sad part. It has a devastating effect. When he reads the real grimoire, he accidentally makes his daughter and wife disappear or turn to sand, and then he seems to abandon his shop. And that's going to leave it open for Hugo when you get him out of jail as an option. Now, what you also want to do is complete Wilhelmina's romance quest, Every Rose Has Its Thorn. That's quite extensive with some outcomes. I'll put a link in the description for that quest guide. Okay, so they're the two quests that you need to do for the job offers for Hugo when you get him out of jail. So the gold jail that Hugo's in is right over here, back in Bakbatal. You'll be greeted by Ekrat. So you just have to make sure that you have done the Every Rose Has Its Thorn quest, where you do the successful romance with Wilhelmina, and the one we just showed you, the short-sighted ambition quest with Isaac's shop. Alright, so Hugo's got his back to the gate here. Keep talking to him. Doesn't seem like he wants to talk to you at all, but you just press the talk button all the time. Then a guard interrupts, and then you can quickly go back to Hugo, and you just have to make sure that you exhaust all of Hugo's dialogue. So keep pressing the talk button to the point where he doesn't want to talk to you anymore. So I'm going to show you two ways to get Hugo out of jail. Well, actually there's a third way with a key from Ekrat's room and try and break him out, but then guards are always going to attack you, so that's a bit risky, that one. So this is the alternate method. Alright, past time for one day. You'll probably run into Benjamin here, who will tell you about a new coral snake prisoner. If not, one of the guards in the jail will tell you. So Hugo's further away now, does want to talk to you. So we're going to go speak to the new prisoner here. He talks down on Hugo. You want to keep exhausting his dialogue. A guard will interrupt, saying that Breft's probably got more to say. So go back to Breft again and keep talking to him to exhaust all his dialogue, to the point where he tells you about the new hideout for the coral snakes at the ancient battleground. Now this will be the turning point with the options with Hugo, after we learn about the new location for the coral snakes at the ancient battleground. So exhaust all of Breft's dialogue, go back to Hugo. He's not far away now, he's right at the gate now, and you can talk to him. Now you'll have two options here. Now we're going to go through the top one first, where we're going to tell him what Breft said, the new location where Lenzo is.
What? He said... What? That can't be right.
Now come back the next day. One of the guards is going to tell you that Hugo's escaped, he's killed Breft, and he's headed off to the ancient battleground. So this is going to be timed. So you want to head straight there. If not, Hugo's going to die. So make your way to the battleground here. You're probably familiar if you did do the Told to Rest quest, which you would have had to have done first. And you just need to make your way through here again. So make your way to this tower, up the top, go down this hole. That's if the gate's locked on the right. Okay, make your way to the next spiral case, up the stairs to the castle, and that's where Lenzo is. Alright, so what we're going to do here is going to fight Lenzo. And like I said, if you don't get here in time, Hugo's going to die. So once you've defeated Lenzo, straight away after the battle, Hugo's going to turn up. And this is where you give him a job offer. Now, because we had Isaac abandon his shop because he had his wife and daughter disappear, you can send him to Isaac's shop as a job. You may have two options there if you have the romance with the Every Rose Has Its Thorn as well, which I'll talk about that later. Alright, so tell him about a place he may know and to live an honest life, and that's where you can give him the job at Isaac's Wares.
You think I could work there?
I'll quickly show you some of the items added to the bottom of the shopping list now that Hugo's running the place, since Isaac abandoned it when he lost his wife and daughter. And there you go. Okay, I'll show you the other outcome now. So we're back at the jail cell where we talked to Breft. He's told us the new location at the ancient battleground of the coral snakes. Hugo's now back at the cell door closer, so you can now talk to him. And this time you want to say the other option and say nothing. Don't tell him what Breft said. And he's going to have other options here to choose where we want to support him to live an honest life.
Come off it. You don't mean that.
Okay, so now we're going to speak to that same guard, Diedrich. And he's going to tell us about Ekrat, the guy who greeted us at the jail entrance, the leader who runs this jail. And basically he's telling you that he may take an alternate way to get the prisoner Hugo out. So he's either going to be standing here or in that room to the door on the left. So speak to him about a bribe, to give him bribes to get Hugo's release. So the first bribe is 1,000 gold. And you give him 1,000 gold. And what you need to do then is wait a day and then come back the next day. So on the next day when you come back, and speak to Ekrat I should say, he's going to now ask for 2,500 gold. So give him the 2,500 gold, and then again you're going to have to come back the next day. And like I said, at this point of the game, I'm pretty sure this is easy money for you, maybe. Alright, so now the next day, Ekrat's going to tell you he's secured his release, and he's going to ask for one final payment, which is the 5,000 gold. So there you have it. So you bribe his way out, and that's going to get Hugo's release. You can still just do it the other way and try and beat him to the ancient battlegrounds. Otherwise, an easier way is just bribe his way out. And now I'll show you the location of Hugo's job for this outcome. So you'll see a bit of a cutscene here with Hugo talking to the guard. And then we just need to talk to Hugo, and again, the dialogue about his choosing for his living an honest life.
Was it you who got me released? Suppose I should be grateful, but what am I to do now? Easy for him to talk of an honest life, but I've nowhere to turn. No one's gonna.
And now we'll have the option for the My Mausoleum, which is the Rose Chateau Bordelais, where you did the every Thorn has its Rose quest line for Wilhelmina's romance quest. And we're going to send him off, and let's go head over to the Rose Chateau. He's going to greet at the door. There he is. And there you have it. They're the two outcomes. Now this is what he's going to say. He actually finds out about you lying to him, what Brett said. So here's the dialogue for that. Enjoy. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you all next time.
Now I know the truth. Still, I had to wonder why you didn't tell me. Bref said he spoke to you, but you never said a word of it. Suppose you thought I want revenge? That I'd slit his throat for what he did to my parents? I might have back then, but that's all in the past now. I'm not killing no one, and I'll not steal again neither. Thanks, cuz, for looking out for me.